Wanna be where you are, I want you to look away, boy. Be my superstar, your love is all it takes, boy. Wanna be where you are, want you to look.
Hi there, it's Paul here from the House of the Outsiders. Thank you for dropping by. Today you're getting 2 pages for the price of 1. This video that is playing at the moment is a speeded up version of one I recorded last week. And I was going to show it on its own, but then I had the idea of doing a second one, which is going to follow once you've seen the speeded up one you're seeing now. Because I made this video, I made this page. It all seemed to be going very well. No problems with it. And then, I don't know if you've done this, but I just went a little too far. I did too much to my page to the point where I didn't like it. No, as the page stands right now, I'm enjoying the border. I like the pink background with the stenciling over it and the splattering. It's all very my style, and I'm liking it. But there's a point which is coming up very soon, about now, where I think I've just added way too much, and I think to myself, should have stopped. Certainly didn't want to add that stamping. The page, I'm sure there's nothing wrong with it, it just didn't seem to fit, it didn't feel comfortable to me in my style. I'm sure other people would love it, it's just me, my tastes. I prefer something that's more graphic. I prefer something that is a little less cluttered as it was. So here we go. This is the page that follows in the book, and I decided what I'd do is I'd use almost the same materials and colours and have a go and try to really think about doing it in a style that pleases me. So I haven't started this one with the border yet. I thought I'd go with my acrylic inks and slap on the pink, which is made from using these acrylic inks that it's 3 parts white to the 1 part magenta, and I mixed them with the sponge and then onto the page, and yeah, waited for it to dry. Great thing about acrylic inks is that they take about a couple of minutes to dry. It's very quick. So what I've done was I've taken a stamp which I think is by Carabelle Studios, and I thought, yep, that kind of a side of it, that with the splat of it would make a good border. And then just to give it a bit of variation, I think within the same set, I'll list the materials below as usual, but in the same set you get this text stamp. So I thought, yep, I'd add a little bit of variety by stamping it 3 times, because 3 is that magic number, on top of the border, so it doesn't all look like the splats and things. So there we go. And I've recently taken delivery of some new Tim Holtz stencils. Several of them took my fancy, and this one I think is the Cells one. What I liked about it is I thought, it's not a repeat pattern, I'm sure. I haven't looked to see whether you can actually repeat this, but I thought I could possibly use it and sponge the colour about 3 times over the page, and without the gap looking too obvious. As you see, you can't really see too bad, especially if something else is going on top of it. And what I've done is I've used Dylusions, I think it's the Bubblegum pink paint, which is ever so slightly darker than it's not slightly darker, it is darker than the background pink. So you got a nice contrast going on there. Okay, so that's my background done, dusted, put to one side to dry. And now I've taken a stamp that you can get through Chocolate Baroque, and it's designed by Mark Gould of Speshink, and again you'll see the link below. And this is one of his stamps, and I've stamped it with a smoky grey colour, a tip I got from a guy called James Burke. Do check his videos out, because he suggested that if you want to draw over the top of a stamped image, in his opinion, and he's tried them, so I'll go with his advice, and that is one of the best ones to stamp down and then draw with black over. So that's what I'm doing. To begin with, I've got my watercolour paints. These are Prima's classic collection. I've taken the grey. I did this in the last page too. I've taken the grey and I've coloured the face, or the areas that should be skin. I also, once I'd laid on a layer of grey, I added a little bit of blue just to give it a I don't know, a ghoulish, weird sort of like look. The beard and the hair, I've taken a Posca Paint Pen and I've just painted a solid colour over the top. And I've used green because we've got a red-pink background, and green makes red pop, red makes the green pop. So I thought, yep, that'll really stand out against the page. Again, like in the last page, I thought I'd draw in or ink in the eyes, give them that ethereal look. And taking another Posca pen, I'm now beginning to ink in the rest of the detail. Now, you might not be able to see it in the video, but I can actually see the lines of the stamp beneath the Posca pen. It's not completely opaque. I can see slightly as a guide to draw the details. Now, with the beard and the moustache, I've added more lines than is in the original stamp, just because, yeah, I fancy playing with giving it a slightly different look. Also, sort of like, I haven't inked the bottom of the neck. You'll see this a bit more later on when I start outlining it, because I'm going to draw something like last time beneath that neck, so I didn't want it to be quite so obvious that there was a join there. I've used a white pen to add a white dot in the middle of the eyes as a kind of reflection, so we're still looking at kind of creepy ghoulish eyes. I think it works. And what I'm doing here is I am outlining the outside of the face with a slightly thicker, well, not slightly, again, a much thicker line. I'm saying slightly when I'm actually making quite a significant change. And as you can see, I haven't inked where the bottom of the neck is, because, again, I want that to blend into what I draw at the bottom. But I've cut the face out. I'm drawing a little bit around it so that I can place it in the right time. Now, I've done this in kind of speeded up time to show you the whole drawing process, as in, I know what the idea is, and I'm drawing in a HB pencil, and you can actually see what I'm doing. And my first attempt, I'm not digging the curvy sort of like neck. It's not working, so I've thought, yeah, I prefer a kind of a straight neck. And then once I'm pleased with it, and I've erased as many of the pencil lines as I can, again, I'm taking my Posca pen, inking it up so I can see it. I've taken a silver Posca pen to colour in the neck side of it, and then the weird base that the neck's coming out of, I coloured in green, the same as the beard, for exactly the same reasons. Contrasting the complementary colours of green and red, leaving a slight amount of white on the right hand side to give it the look of a highlight. Again, just like in the face, I've thickened the line around the outside, again leaving the base of the neck with no outline. Also added a few thin lines around the neck to make it look as if it's called more of a metallic neck. Anyway, once I was pleased with my finished drawing and coloured it in, time to stick it in. I think in the past I use this liquid glue, the Cosmic Shine or Glitter, whatever it is. But I thought this time around I'd start playing with a glue stick. I've been previously avoiding glue sticks because I know they, in the past, haven't had a very good lifespan. They keep things stuck in for about a year, and then they collages start dropping off, but I believe that they've got better, so I'm using Ranger's glue stick, and we'll see what happens. It seems fine so far, a day in. Now I've taken my coloured pencils from Fabre Castell and started penciling in the shadows, and then I took a quote from a friend of mine. It's a quote that he put on Facebook, along with a photo saying that he was going to get rid of the beard, and I can't tell you how much mileage I've got out of it. My poor friend. I sent him a photoshopped photo of a glittered beard, and now I'm using him in my art journal. But when I look at this page, it reminds me of that little bit of silliness that we had. So again, it's another overheard piece of conversation, or this time a Facebook post. So it's all cut all the quote out, print it out, cut it out, and stuck it in my book. And just as a final little piece, I've taken the black pen again and outlined the quote. And because there's a little bit of white space still around what I thought needed something to fill it, I've taken another Carabelle Studio stamp set, which has these collage elements, and just added, again in a pattern of 3, just to fill the space in. Video is about to come to an end, so I better stop rambling. Hope you enjoyed this, and you like the before and the after, or the 2 different pages, and I will speak to you next time. Okay, bye for now.